welcome back to Part-Time Okie Pickers Inside the Cellar Studio. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm John.
And we are Part-Time Okie Picker. We thought we would do this New Year's Eve episode as like a year in review and go over our sales, our highlights, our lowlights, our top categories, percentages for the year of 2023. So we will start with our total sales, which was actually down this year compared to previous years. We didn't get into too much detail, but we will be pulling all the reports as we prepare for taxes. So we'll look and see and compare and see where we fell and where we can improve. We did a total of about $44,400. Roughly, that's subject to change, of course, as sales come through today. We are running an end of the year sale. It's been running since last weekend. We always try to run a sale on the holidays to get rid of stuff. We're fine to take a hit on some of it. Well, most of it we paid so little for. We're not really taking a hit. It's just taking a hit of what our projected profit was. We sold about 1,029 items for an average sale price of $42.21. I had said in one of our previous videos that our goal average sale price is always $35. So we are above that, which is fantastic. It means we were very good and picky this year, how we should be.
We like being picky. The 1,029 items is actually up about 100 items over last year. So with the large collections we did get, we sold a lot more individual pieces, and we sold a lot less very expensive large items, mostly heavy electronics, because I really hate shipping those. Our breakdown is not all the way down, but the top 5 categories, kind of easy to pick out why once you see our top sales for the year. Toys, we did about 6,000. That's mostly action figures. That does not include Lego. Lego is a separate category. So that'll be a lot of our Star Wars action figures and other toys. Nothing comes to mind. Some Funko Pops. I'm trying to think other large collections or anything. Most of it was the Star Wars figures. We did buy a bunch of them, and we got a lot of them. And we got a lot of them sold. Video games, we did about 5,700. That's actually our biggest drop this year versus last year. Last year, we had a couple really large garage sale scores. Especially one of them was last year, October, I believe. I'd have to look at our Instagram because we actually did make an Instagram post about it, which we don't do very often. But we spent $200 and it was close to $3,000 in video games, something like that. So we had a couple big video game sales this year, but we didn't have the overall number of items. Our third category, which I kind of found interesting, just because we get a lot of our clothing from Goodwill, and we kind of shut Goodwill down for the entire year. And it was $2,750. So $2,750 in clothing. A lot of that comes from our large Disney garage sale that we went to. But that was mostly it. Or maybe personal stuff. We clear out our closets often because we're always upgrading. Fourth category, I know why, but it is interesting to see it.
I was shocked.
Was movies. That includes Blu-rays, DVDs, box sets, and so on. You'll see in one of our top sales, we did a very large purchase of a Blu-ray collection at a garage sale. She did it mostly, and we sold quite a bit of them. And we sold them for really well.
Yeah, the lady was only asking a quarter each.
I guess we're going to get into it right now.
I just bulk bought all of them. Okay, go though. I just wanted to say it.
And then our fifth category, which will probably only increase this year, is Lego. We still have a large collection of Lego sitting right here to my right. And we find it often. And we pick and choose how we sell it. And it's fun to do. That 1,400 was not a lot of pieces. There was no bulk. It was mostly just complete sets that we had built or minifigs. And that's how a lot of people do it. And then they sell off their bulk somewhere else. We just try not to buy the bulk because it's always dirty and it's always mixed.
Mm-hmm.
This thing looks like it's in my neck. So then the only other thing before we get into individual sales, kind of like our top 10, our top 15, is a lot of people have different opinions on promoted sales. It's just another way for eBay to take money from you. It doesn't really work. We promote everything.
But not immediately.
Yes. We usually give it about 2 weeks, maybe a month, just because if it's going to sell within that first 2 weeks, it's going to sell. And I'd rather eBay not get any extra money. But we do promote most everything for various reasons. But our promoted sales went down this past year. So our just non-promoted sales went up. But we did just over $9,400 in promoted sales. That was about 22% of our actual sales for the year. I actually thought it was going to be a little bit higher because I feel like we'll go through stretches where every single item is promoted. But we did do a store kind of clean out this year where I ended everything maybe August, September, and I slowly relisted everything, and I didn't, and I still don't believe I've gotten around to promoting everything. So I guess we really only promoted for about 8 to 9 months of the year as opposed to the full year. So maybe that changed stuff. I don't really know, but that's just what we did. And then I've got our top 10. I didn't want to write them all down on whole pieces of paper because there were so many. And I'll try to insert screenshots if I can of the item that we're talking about. Some of them you'll just be like, oh, I know what that means, or I wonder what that looked like. I'll try my best to find them. Our number one item that we sold, which we talked about in multiple videos over the past couple weeks, is our $1,000 t-shirt, our Mickey Mouse Runaway Brain, where he's scary on the back and Mickey Mouse on the front. We bought that at the big Disney garage sale. We sold for $1,000, and that's our top sell of this year. And
it sold within 20 minutes of listing? 20 to 30 minutes of listing.
It sold very fast. I probably could have asked more, but I already thought I put a crazy price on it. But I guess it just shows you when you have something really, really rare, it never hurts to shoot for the moon and let people make you offers. I'm not even sure if I got offers. I think it was just, it sold so fast. But it had so many watchers early on. Our second largest sell of the year is a Super Nintendo game that we kind of had hinted at in a previous one, where it was next door to our favorite place to eat lunch. We went in there. I noticed it was priced incorrectly because of the rarity of the item. It was Final Fight Guy for the Super Nintendo. It's a Blockbuster exclusive rental game, and they had it priced as Final Fight 3, probably because they don't have Final Fight Guy in their system because it's so rare. We paid $150 for it, which seemed crazy. It was very expensive, but I was shaking, I was antsy, and I couldn't get them over to the cabinet fast enough for me to pull it out. We ended up selling it for $772.70. I believe that includes shipping. That's why it's such a weird number. But it had its box. It didn't have its manual. The box was very dirty, very beat up, but we still ended up getting almost $800 for a Super Nintendo game that we paid $150 for.
But you did buy a special protecting case for the box that it slid in.
Yeah.
To help protect it while we were storing it before it sold, and then to help it during shipping, provide that extra little support and stability.
We put most of our expensive games, and Funko Pops for that matter, in protective cases. They're fairly cheap as long as you don't buy them one at a time. They're very expensive, but you can get 20, 25 at a time. So we've done it with Game Boy games, we've done it with Nintendo games, we've done it with Super Nintendo games, Funko Pop, 64.
It's something we like to do.
Yeah. Our third top sell is a 3DS game. This one also was purchased at the same video game store. It was not mislabeled, it was just undervalued in my opinion. But I also bought it during a sale when it was buy two get one free, so it dropped the price, and I actually think one of the other two games makes this list as well. But it's called Yokai Watch 3. I'm not sure exactly which the subtitle was. I think it's Fleshy Souls. We had purchased number 1 and number 2 a long time ago at Five and Below. Anytime we would find a game at Five and Below for $5, you just kind of bought it, not knowing if your kids would like it or wouldn't like it. They never got around to playing them, so I just put all three of them together. So, we probably had $120, $125 in the three games, and we sold all three of them for $377.30. That's a pretty good deal. That third one is the one that has the most value. Number one's super easy to find for $5, I guess. Number 2 is a little bit more rare, and number 3 is really rare. Our fourth top sell of the year, which you actually saw on an actual video of us, was the Pendleton Beaver State wool blanket that we picked up. It sold after shipping and everything for $303.20. That was just a purchase at a garage sale. The lady said I'd have to watch the video again, but I know it's very hard to find, it's very rare, something like that, and she charged $30, something like that. We did, truth be told, sell it twice. We sold it one time, but it had a couple of minor defects in it that we didn't notice, so it was returned, and then we sold it again for pretty close to the same amount, and we
pointed out everything that
pointed out all the defects.
Yeah.
Our, let's see, number 5, our fifth most expensive sale, comes from our big Lego lot purchase of $100. It is the fourth Lego Rado set, 6769. After fees and shipping and everything, it sold for $280.58. We've sold 4 sets from that big purchase, this one being the number 1 set so far. We still have a couple others that may actually compete with that top number, and we'll see that in 2024. Let's see, number 6. You want to talk about 6?
Oh, number 6. We bought this at the auction, didn't we? Is the Waring Pro Belgian waffle maker. I think, does it make 2 at a time, or it was just a 1 at a time?
I think it was just a 1.
I hadn't heard of this brand before. John pointed it out at the auction that we sometimes go to. So we went. I don't remember how much we paid for it.
I think we paid maybe $25 to $40. I feel like we should have probably paid like only 20, but the bids go so fast there, it's hard to keep track of everybody. Sometimes you may feel like a ghost is there as well, but it was still brand new in the box.
Yeah.
So somebody had purchased it. This estate sale, or this auction house specifically does estate sale clear outs. So they just take everything from the house and they get digging in cabinets and pantries, garages, and they find a lot of weird sealed stuff that you just wouldn't think about. It was hard to sell it though.
It was, because I was like, oh, I want it, but we can't keep everything.
Yep.
So it sold for $264.06. I forgot all about that one.
Yep. And then let's see, number 7, and then number 7 and number 12 both came from the same garage sale where I think they said they were just moving in. Most of their stuff was still out on the porch and / front lawn, and they had a stack of Bose sound systems, sound waves. One was the radio and the CD player. The other one was just an additional CD player, I believe. We bought all 3 pieces, ordered an extra remote, all in all in for probably $30 to $50 somewhere in
Yeah.
there. Number, what did I say, six,
Seven?
seven sold for $259.56, and that was the. It had the 3 CD changer. Also, we tested them. Surprisingly, based on how you would have felt this garage cell would have gone, it wouldn't have worked, but they both did.
Yeah.
And then we sold the actual music system itself, which is a single CD player. It sold for $232.25. And we talk about that because we know it's number 11, so it's technically out of the top 10, but it was purchased at the same time of number 7.
We actually find those Bose Waves a lot.
And they're usually broken.
They usually
They usually don't work, not all of it. The radio always works, but not the CD player. Number 8, I believe. We talked about this in a different video where we purchased a bunch of boxes that we used to sell all the Star Wars figures we got. But this is a Scotty Cameron Newport Titleist putter with the head cover. I remember going to the garage sale. The head of it was covered up, but I saw the grip and it said Titleist on it. And I picked it up quickly because Titleist doesn't make, I don't think they make their own putters unless it's Scotty Cameron. And that one was the guy, I think $3, $3.5, something like that. I couldn't get out of that garage sale fast enough, but we ended up buying a couple other really expensive items there too. He kind of looked like he had tried to resell some or something because he had all those boxes, he had packing supplies everywhere, but I don't know what he was selling. It also looked like he tried to play golf 1 or 2 times, and that's where that putter came from. And then we've got a couple cameras. We sell a lot of cameras. We find a lot of cameras. 35mm digital. I ended up selling a couple last year, I believe, for family members, and those sold. So I think one of them made our top 10. But then we also have a 35mm camera, a Pentax MZS, also made our top 10. And that was $250.30. We sell so many cameras, I can't tell you which one, where it came from, how I got it. I would assume at a garage sale. We did go to an auction that had a ton of cameras, but there were a bunch of other people there for those cameras also, and it got out of hand very quickly, cost-wise. And I think we ended up getting like the leftovers, which actually turned out to be cheap and very profitable.
Like it was
for
a
us.
tub of accessories, I
Yeah.
think. Because the cameras ended up going for more than what they would sell for, which always confuses us when that happens because we never understand what these people are doing. Because some of them we know are resellers.
Yeah. Like I know what I want to sell it for, and I guess they think they're just going to double it and sit on it forever. And then our number, I think our 10th top selling item is an item we also purchased on camera. It was a golf club set, ladies Adams Idea iron set. Everything said and done, it was $238.83. We do sell a lot of golf clubs. It's easy for me to get boxes to ship them in because of where I work. Some people don't like selling golf clubs. I actually don't mind it. They pretty much don't break. It takes a little packing as long as you have the right box, and that's always the tricky part, especially since the post office and their triangular tube things, they changed the price and made it very expensive. I do have a couple honorable mentions that I want to go over. We had a bunch of cameras, like we said, that jumped up into it. We had another Bose system. We did have that one, and I'll let her talk about it.
So we talked about movies, how it was a surprising category for us to see such high sales, and we had bought all of these Blu-rays at a garage sale. We bulk bought them. She only wanted 25 cents each, and I wasn't about to go through and count all. Even though when all was said and done, I didn't get, a steal. But that's okay because 25 cents each was still a great deal. I think we ended up paying like
21 cents.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we say 4 cents per DVD.
But there was actually a large selection of 3D Blu-rays, and I didn't realize how expensive some of them are. like individual ones or when you lot them together. So I know we did a couple different lots of them, but this one we did an adult lot. So it had like Hobbit, Jurassic Parks, Transformers. It was 48 of them, and we sold it for $189.86. It was really good. And then I know we did a kid one. I don't know if it's on your honorable.
Yeah, I don't think it made it.
Mention.
We did a couple different kids ones because we did a Disney kids one, which I think was in that 120 to 150 range, and then we did everything non-Disney, and that was also in that 120 to 150 range. But then we sold a bunch at just like 20, which I think was our cutoff of lowest we wanted to go, up to like $50, and we sold multiples of those. And we were probably the second or third group people to the garage sale, and we passed people leaving, and the guy had a bag of Simpsons seasons on Blu-ray, and I was like, oh dang, those were probably a good deal. Everything was a quarter, like seasons, and we didn't really want to stand there and count them and pull out the ones we want, because we probably would have passed on most of them being Poseidon in 3D. I don't care to watch that, and I don't care to sell it, but when you put them in lots, they sold really well and very quickly. And it was medium mail, so it's always nice. And then I think I had one more, and then my last honorable mention was the game that we had purchased with the Yokai 3DS game, and it's called Sparkster for the Super Nintendo, which is funny because we actually just sold the manual a couple days ago, but those were from different purchases, different collections, months apart from each other. So it's not like, oh, we should have sold them together, because we didn't have it. But we sold Sparkster for $161, and that was part of that buy two get one free. I'm not exactly sure what the free game was, but I feel like it was probably another close to $150 game, and that's what we got with the Yokai watch. So this is kind of our year in review. We have our New Year's hats. I can't pick it up like that. Got our 2024 up in the background. We're going to really put YouTube as a focal point. We've got a lot of fun things planned. We are part-timers. We do this strictly part-time. We both have full-time jobs. We did, 44,000 out of our garage. Half of our garage, not even the full part of our garage. Just mostly by going to garage sales. There is a couple other places we go. Auctions, like she has said. Some thrift stores occasionally. Random video game stores or resale shops. But for the most part, we do this all through garage sales.
And I do want to say, like, we talked about how we cut out Goodwill this year. We used to do a lot in clothing and go to Goodwill a lot. We still shop at, Goodwill on eBay through different states. Our local Goodwills just aren't good. They stopped doing the color sales a couple years ago. So they don't do the green tag, 50% off. They started using the color tags again a year or two ago, but they haven't started running any sales. They mark up a lot of their clothes. Their prices have already increased significantly, where we just can't justify the low profit to do it. But they mark up a lot of stuff, and we don't mind paying the boutique prices for quality items, but when you're marking up an Under Armour hoodie for $30 that has some random Little League logo on it, it's just a waste of our time to sort through that. So we don't do a lot from our Goodwill. When we go on road trips, we always make a point to stop at other Goodwills and thrift stores, and Missouri and Arkansas has good prices, and they still run sales in their Goodwills, the ones that we go to at least. I know it may not be like that all over, because I know Oklahoma has different Goodwill markets too. But that's one of the reasons that we cut out Goodwill in our area. I do think that I would like to try to do more Goodwill runs outside of our area, though.
Maybe.
So we do like...
I mean, we did go to Goodwill yesterday, and we did end up buying 3 things that will do very well for us. But So that's kind of it, all in a nutshell. That's our year-end review. I'm gonna go edit this, try to find a bunch of these pictures so you can get examples of what we were talking about. But we also want to make a notation that we have hit 100 subscribers. I think the number was 103 last time I looked. That's exciting. Took us 4 months, 22 videos, I think. A little bit faster than I had thought, but stick with us. We've got a lot more coming, especially in the spring garage sales, and we'll see you in 2024. Have a great day.
Thank you.